Hi, welcome to another sneak peek Saturday with the Alameda Free Library. My name is Jenny, and today I thought we could read a book that is also in our news section. However, this has been published a while ago. The book is called A Piece of Cake, and the author is Cupcake Brown. Incredible book. It's a memoir on how she grew up in San Diego and through foster care, and so yeah, I just want to give you a little sneak peek and I hope you like it. Let's see. There's like a poem I'm gonna read you right now. Where there is life, there's hope. Where there is hope, there's trust. Where there is trust, there is love. Where there is love, there is faith. Where there is faith, there is success. Where there is success, there's God. Tim Long, aka Pops. Okay. Chapter 1. The booming music coming from Mama's radio alarm clock suddenly woke me. I could hear Elton John singing about Philadelphia freedom. I wonder why Mama didn't wake me, I thought to myself. It was January 1976. Wasn't no school that day. But Mama still had to go to work, so while Mama was at work, I was going over to Daddy's house to play with Kelly, the daughter of his lady friend. I wonder why she didn't wake me, I thought again to myself as I climbed out of bed. When I passed the dresser, I caught a glimpse of myself in the mirror. Boy, was I ugly. Skinny, black, and ugly. That's what the kids at school called me. Or they yelled out, "Vet, Vet, looks just like my pet." My name was Lavette, but my first birth name was Cupcake. At least that's what my mama told me. Seems Mama craved cupcakes when she was pregnant with me. She had 3 cupcakes a day, every day, without fail, for 9.5 months. I was 2 weeks overdue. Mama said that even if she didn't eat anything else, she'd have her daily dose of cupcakes. Anyway, seems that while we were in labor, the hospital gave Mama some pain drugs, and once Mama popped me out, the nurse said, "Pat," that was my Mama's name, "you have a little girl. Do you know what you want to name her?" Tired and exhausted from 8 hours of hard labor, Mama lifted her head, smiled sheepishly, and said, "Cupcake," before she passed out. So that's what they put down on my birth certificate. I mean, that is what she said. The nurses thought it was due to the excitement of motherhood. Mama said it was the drugs. A few hours later, however, when Daddy came to the hospital, he decided he didn't like Cupcake. Mama said Daddy wanted to name me Lavette. So just to make Daddy happy, Mama said she had the hospital change my name. I didn't mind really. I loved my daddy. As far as I was concerned, he could change my name to whatever he wanted. But Mama said that to her I would always be Cupcake. She never called me anything else. Except sometimes she called me Cup for short. Anyways, the kids at school always told me that I was ugly. They teased me, saying I looked like Aunt Esther, that old lady from Sanford and Son, and the one always calling Sanford a fish-eyed fool. She was the ugliest woman I'd ever seen, so if the other kids thought I looked like her, I knew I had to be ugly. Besides, everybody knew a black girl wasn't considered pretty unless she was light-skinned with long straight hair. I was dark-skinned with short, kinky hair. I hated my complexion. I hated my hair. I hated my skinny legs and arms. But Mama thought I was beautiful. She'd say, "Cup, you're only 11 years old. You will appreciate your beauty as you grow up." Shoot, I wouldn't wait to grow up. Mama always said things to make me feel better. I loved my mama. She was my best friend and she was beautiful. She had cocoa-colored skin and her long black hair hung way past her shoulders. And Mama had the biggest, prettiest smile you ever saw. People always told her that she looked like Diana Ross because of her long hair and wide, beautiful smile. All teeth. I passed the black ugly thing in the mirror and continued toward Mama's room. The radio alarm continued to blast. I giggled to myself. Mama was like me. She hated getting up in the morning. So she put the clock away across the room and turned it all the way up so it would scare her awake in the morning. That way she'd have to get out of bed and walk across the room to turn it off. I wonder why she didn't turn the alarm off. I thought, as I made my way through the kitchen toward the large living room that led into Mama's room. The floor was cold because wasn't no carpet in our house. Still, I loved our old house. It was Victorian style, 3 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. We lived in San Diego in the heart of the ghetto, though I never knew it until I got older. We had our share of dilapidated houses and rundown apartment buildings, but most of the houses and apartments in the neighborhoods were in decent order. I mean, we didn't have any mansions, but most folks made sincere efforts to keep their houses decent looking. They watered their tired brown lawns, trying to keep them up as kept up as a lawn could be with kids running over it all the time, and tried to replace windows that had been broken from runaway fly balls that escaped the imaginary fields of street baseball games. We had a great neighborhood store, Savaya Brothers, that had everything you could need or want, including the most delicious pickled pig feet. We had a neighborhood park, memorial park, a boys club and a girls club. I thought my family was rich because I was the only kid in the neighborhood who had her own bedroom, furnished with a white princess-style bedroom set, complete with a canopy bed, matching nightstands and dresser. There was a pink frilly comforter with matching frills for the canopy overhead. And I had a closet full of clothes. Unlike other kids in my neighborhood, I never had to share clothes or wear hand-me-downs. Mama loved to sew and made most of my clothes. The other kids thought we were rich too. Little did we know that we weren't rich. It's just that both my mom and dad worked, while the other kids only had one parent trying to raise several kids, either on one income or more commonly on welfare. Though being on welfare wasn't nothing to be ashamed about. Most everybody was. In fact, I envied my friends on welfare because they got government food that you couldn't get from the store, like this great government cheese. You ain't had a grilled cheese sandwich till you had one made with government cheese. The blasting radio brought me back to my immediate mission, finding out why my mama didn't wake me up. I wished she'd woke me up, I thought, as I followed the sound of the blasting radio. I was excited about going to my daddy's. My mama and daddy didn't live together. Daddy lived around the way with my brother Larry. I hated Larry. Larry was thin and lanky like me, and he was dark-skinned like me. Although he was 2 years older than me, he never acted like a big brother. He never protected me. In fact, he was usually the one I had to be protected from. And usually it was me jumping in a fight to protect him. I thought he was a wimp. Larry hated me just as much as I hated him, but for different reasons. He was jealous of me. He'd never admit it, but I knew he was. I was the one who always got good grades and saved my weekly allowance so I could buy something nice and big, while Larry hated school and was always on the verge of flunking out and spent his money faster than he got it, and then had the nerve to get mad when he didn't have anything left. Our hate for each other resulted in fierce fights, cussing each other out, a skill I turned into an art from an early age, and throwing knives and hammers, or anything else lethal we could find, at each other. Our fights were no joke. We were trying to kill each other for real, or at least cause loss of body parts. In our house, before Larry went to live with Daddy, I could never slack up and always had to watch my back because we were always trying to sabotage each other. Once I walked to Larry trying to smother me with a pillow. Bastard. He just woke up one day and decided he'd try to kill me. I had to fight, kick, scratch, punch, and scream to get him off of me. I got him back though. I tried to poison him. Larry was always trying to boss me around. One day, after yet another unsuccessful attempt at killing me, he'd ordered me to get him some Kool-Aid. And I did, with a little rat poison in it. But watching my sudden obedience, he got suspicious, talking about he smelled something funny. He ordered me to take a drink first. I took a sip, but I didn't swallow. I just held it in my mouth, hoping he'd now be willing to drink. He was smarter than I thought. He fucked around and fucked around, twirling the Kool-Aid in the glass with a sly grin on his face, till I couldn't hold what was in my mouth anymore without swallowing. Oh shit, I thought. I can't kill myself. That'd be right up his alley. I ran for the bathroom, which confirmed Larry's suspicions that something was up. He ran ahead of me, blocked the bathroom door with his body, laughing hysterically at the irony of the situation. My only other option was out the front door, halfway across the house. I'd never make it. Swallow it, bitch, he ordered, his body still blocking the doorway, hands up in the air like a soccer goalie. Damn, I hated him. But I would have the last word on this one. It took me a moment to think of a way out, but then it came to me. I realized my way out, the look of terror on my face from envisioning what seemed to be my impending death slowly changed into a white-ass grin. I spit the Kool-Aid in his face, and with that I was on. It was on. We tumbled, kicked, bit, and scratched until we tired ourselves out and retreated to opposite ends of the house to await the next battle. Sarah was really glad when Mama sent Larry to go live with Daddy. Larry had started talking back to Mama, being smart-mouthed and sassing her. I remember the day Larry left. Mama told Larry to move a can of paint from off the back porch. Larry angrily stomped towards the paint can, but instead of moving it, he kicked it, as if punting a football, toward Mama. I don't know if he meant for the can to hit her, but it did. The can flew into the air like a football toward a goalpost. It struck Mama on the shoulder as it made its way back down. The impact from the can hitting Mama's shoulder caused the lid to topple off and paint flew everywhere. Mama stood there for what seemed like forever, although it was really only a moment. Paint dripping off her clothes and face like icicles of a tree. I swear I thought I saw smoke coming out of her ears. She balled her fist. I thought she was going to knock the shit out of Larry. Actually, I was hoping she would. Then maybe I could get in a kick or two. But instead, she spun suddenly and quickly on her heels. Her long black hair flying out behind her reminded me of Batman's cape. Stomped into the house and over the phone and called my daddy. Come and get this man before I kill him, she screamed. Needless to say, Daddy quickly came and Larry quickly went. Larry had lived with Daddy ever since. Daddy saved Larry's life that day. after Larry left, we really didn't see much of each other, which was fine with both of us. Daddy and Mama would switch me and Larry on the weekend, so each parent could spend time with a child he or she didn't live with. This meant that Larry and I had to see each other only in passing, and even that was too much for me. I loved my weekends with my daddy. We'd dress up. Daddy would put on his one suit and I'd put on a nice dress, and we'd go out on a date. We'd usually go somewhere for dinner and then to the movies. My daddy was the only person besides my mama who thought I was pretty. He'd hop me up on his knee and ask, "Who's the prettiest girl in the whole wide world?" And in between giggles, I'd say, "I am." But I never believed it. He had to think I was pretty. He was my daddy. When we were out on our dates, he'd ask everyone, "This is my daughter, ain't she pretty?" What were they gonna say? "Actually, sir, she looks like shit." No, they smiled and lied and told Daddy I sure was pretty. I didn't care that they were lying. I loved my daddy, and I loved our dates. Didn't bother me that Mama and Daddy didn't live together either. They still loved each other. Daddy did have a lady friend, Lori, but to me, she was just that, his friend. Lori was a tall, thin white woman. She reminded me of Popeye's girlfriend, Olive Oil, but I still liked her because she made the best chocolate cake, my favorite. I really liked her daughter, Kelly, a pudgy Mexican-looking girl with long black hair, only 6 months younger than me. Neither of us had a sister, so we decided we'd be each other's sister. We played together and always had fun together. She didn't mind being silly, and she was always willing to play my favorite game, Africans. I'd be Unga Bunga and she'd be Ooga Wooga. We'd jump around with fake spears acting a fool. I had no idea what it was like to be a real African, so I imitated what I'd seen on TV. I'd known that TV was run by white folks. What do white folks know about being African? Nothing. But at the time, I was too young and really didn't care to know. And this is where I'm going to stop. Very great book. Really sucked me in right away. If you would like to check this out, again, the book is called A Piece of Cake. The author is Cupcake Brown. She actually lives in the Bay Area. I think she's a professor in San Francisco or an attorney, something like that. You may want to look that up. Yeah, come check it out. This is the spine label. It's in our biography section in the news section. And we also picked this book for our Me, Myself, and I book club on October 2nd. So if you decide you want to participate in the book club, we have a few free copies available on a first come, first served basis. All right. Anyway, again, A Piece of Cake by Cupcake Brown, and I hope you enjoyed this, and I see you again in 2 weeks.